Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a beginning of the month for the month of January Tarot Oracle reading. And Cancer, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Cancer, we still all have a little bit of that sign in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is that in? That is where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide you with valuable information to empower you. I already have shuffled the cards. I'm just giving them a quick cut, and we'll begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And this is, whoa, we have the Eight of Swords. So this energy is talking about feeling like you are in a mental prison that you are unable to get out of. And when you look at this picture, it looks really bad, but when you look twice, you realize, oh, this person is bound up and they've got a blindfold on. But they could just walk away, like they don't have to stand there. They could ask for help. They could do, a lot of things, right? And the energy is more like it's a prison of your own making. And sometimes the binding here represents feeling duty bound, like staying in that kind of energy because you feel duty bound and not being able to see a way out of it. So but when you look, you can also see that there's most of the swords are behind her. There's only one in front. And I feel like these are thoughts that you have put behind you now. And in the background, we see a castle up on this cliff. And that could mean that you are wanting to let go of what you had or where you lived or that kind of energy, and you want to move forward into the new. And what better time than now, right? As we move from 2025 into 2026, and this reading is going to be, it's Christmas Eve as I do this reading, Christmas Eve day, and this energy is, tomorrow is Christmas, so let it go. That's the kind of energy. And we have then the underlying energy for the bottom part of this reading, which is the internal forces. And so these internal forces, these represent actions that have been launched. And it was December 19th, 20th, depending on where you live, that the new moon came in Sagittarius. And this is kind of representing that Sagittarian energy when, the archer takes the bow and arrow, releases his arrows, and they hit the target. Boom, 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 like that. And they're in perfect timing. And that's the kind of energy. And you notice here, there's 8 actions and 8 swords. So the swords represent mental intelligence, your mind, and the swords are 2-edged swords. So they either work for you or they work against you. And the wands, it feels like this card is also representing conception. And that could actually mean an actual conception, or you're launching a new project or a new way of life or something. So this is really good energy moving into the new year. This isn't pleasant to be in, but sometimes you have to be in a position where it becomes unpleasant enough for you to really actually take action. And then we have the star. Yeah, I feel like this is like old 2025 energy, and now we're moving into the star energy. And you were born to, it's saying you were born a star. This woman is dipping into the universal waters, and she's got 2 vessels here. So one of them, she's pouring back into the universe with, her special, unique flavor. And then she's also pouring from the universal waters then onto the earth. And this represents being able to bring what's out in the universe and bring that down, what you were meant to do to earth, and to actually make it happen in the physical. So that's awesome, AJ. It says you were born to shine, in case you were doubting it. Okay, whoops, I have my deck upside down. I apologize. So we have the 9 of Cups here. You were born to shine, and this energy is saying you are the star. You don't want to wish upon the star. Okay, you are the star. And this energy, this person has 9 cups. And in the tarot, there's only 10 cups. So this is like representing love. It can be romantic love, what you love to do, what you love to be, that kind of energy. So this represents like having the family, the partner, the home, the career, that kind of energy, everything that you love. The thing about this card is it's saying you're highly favored, and your wish can absolutely come true, but you have to stay in the game. Like many a race is lost in the last lap. And when you look at the body language of this person, it appears like he's on a stage. And for one thing, are those cups sitting on a shelf behind him, or are they above his head? And so that's the energy of the past, the present, or the future of this reading. So just be aware of that. And also, if you notice, his feet are pointed outward in body language. That is representing leaking energy. And then this energy of having his across his chest is very closed, very open here and very closed here. So it can mean you're taking action from not from your heart, that kind of energy. And he has this big red hat on his head here. And so that can talk about overthinking. And then we have, so what this card is saying is stay focused, stay in the game, because your wish is about to come true, but you need to complete the race, or take that last lap. And then we have, yes, because here's the other cup. And it looks like maybe what you're missing is, in your life, is a cup of love. And so this page of cups is, generally the pages work for the king and queen between the ages of 7 and 14. And then if they were good at their job and they could afford a horse, then they were allowed to become a knight and go for knighthood. And this page of cups represents some form of communication coming in or going out. So the page of cups has a cup, and he's really focused on that cup. And inside that cup is a fish. And he's like, he knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's very focused on that fish. So it's saying that perhaps someone has their eye on you, that kind of energy. And then we have judgment coming in. Dun, 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 dun. So this is from above and below. And these individuals coming out of these boxes represent ancestors that have crossed the veil. And then the descendants are waving, And so it's kind of like back and forth waving to each other, recognizing that the veil between the spiritual and the physical is very thin. And some form of judgment has been called from a high. And this is talking, and we've got like the red cross there. So it's kind of like a healing energy. And the ancestors are cheering, yay, finally, justice, judgment is here. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is sitting on her throne, and she's one of 4 queens in the minor arcana. She's focused on her pentacle. And the Queen of Pentacles is well known for being able to really understand the value of a dollar, and also being able to make something out of nothing and be very resourceful. And she's someone like you can rely on, like she's responsible. She likes quality over quantity. So this represents old money. And it also, like the pentacle doesn't just represent money. Money is one form of abundance, but it also represents, health, wealth, happiness, that kind of energy on earth, like in your physical. And then, okay, so we have a tower. So when people see this card, it looks like, the lightning bolt has hit the tower, and these people are falling out of their castle, and, there's nothing they can do about it. This card means there's been a reality check. So some form of information has come in from the Page of Cups that has caused a reality check here. And this reality check is quite often like, it might feel really sudden, but maybe the universe has been whispering to you and you didn't hear. And then the universe, gave you the frying pan treatment and you still didn't figure it out. So now you're getting the 2x4. And this is like, one of the people looks really shocked and the other one looks like, oh, I could see this coming kind of energy. And so this card, the reality check, a lot of times it's very uncomfortable and it'll feel really sudden, but it was kind of necessary for you to take action on something, to launch this action, to get out of this energy. Because it's kind of almost like you were stuck here and you needed to get out. And the universe doesn't like stuck, stagnant energy. And so, how often does a lightning bolt hit? Like, what's your chances of getting hit by a lightning bolt? About the same as winning the lottery, right? So if you can get hit by a lightning bolt, then you can also win the lottery. So this is a reality check. Sometimes it's not comfortable, that's for sure. But it quite often stirs the energy so that you do get up and you do something and launch those wands so that you can have, like, if you've already got 9 cups, but you just need that one last cup, then, hey, let's go for it, right? And then we have the Magician coming in to clarify the external forces. So when the Fool goes on their journey, they're at the 0 point, and the very first stop is with the Magician, and that's card number 1 in the Major Arcana. And he's got the tools on his bench here, and he's able to bring from above down below, and he's pointing to this energy here that this needs to be addressed. This is an energetic upgrade. He's got the infinity symbol above his head, and it's saying like that you need to. You have the tools you need, but you're going to have to make the magic happen. Same as this energy here. So this is actually how you see yourself at this time. Your self-image is the star. That you know that you're here, that there was something you came here to do, and it was a mission for the Most High, and you are in the process of it. But it may have been, you've been stuck in some sort of stuck energy for some reason. And then we have abundance and self-worth here. So you realize you're worth getting that 10th cup, but you're kind of like very tired. It looks like you've been doing a lot, and you're kind of starting to get to the point where you're closing your heart to it because you just feel like it's never going to happen. You've been working at it and working at it, and you've just been stuck here for it seems like forever. And because we're moving from the 2025, which was 2 + 2 + 5 = 9, and that represents an ending of a cycle. And then the 2026 is 2 + 2 + 6 = 10, and 1 + 0 is 1. So this is talking about moving into this in 2026. You're going to be moving out of this stuck energy, and that'll allow you to launch actions to be able to move forward. So this is an energetic upgrade for sure coming in 2026. And a lot of people are feeling this energy right now because moving from 2025 to 2026 is not just moving into a new year. It's actually ending almost 10-year cycle and moving into a new 10-year, like a decade cycle. So you may have been feeling stuck like this for a decade now, or more even, but for sure at least a decade. And it's affected your ability to produce and having to always, rely on yourself to be really, to be able to use what you have. And that's what the Queen of Pentacles is known for, making something out of nothing. And so then in this position, we have communication from your early life. And so you might have felt like in your family, like you were a fish out of water kind of energy, like the odd duck, the black sheep, that kind of energy. And then home and family is as this energy, and there's judgment being called on your emotional foundation. So I feel like you were kind of always felt like you were the odd person out. This could represent someone that was adopted, or that kind of energy, just not feeling like you fit in. And then we have the creativity and the romance and the children. So this is about being very resourceful and about your home life and being able to be creative, you know, to bring out, to make the most of what you have. And then we have your health, your daily routines, and your habits. So there's some sort of reality check with your daily routine and your habits that is causing you to not enjoy the health, wealth, and happiness of the pentacle that you deserve. So that's the energy. And this is your internal dynamics. This is your internal foundation. What keeps you awake at night? When you're like, oh, what if I do this? What if I do that? If I do this, what if that happens? If I do that, what if this happens? That kind of energy, which will keep you here for sure. And then we have, okay, there was some competition. And so this is my Mean Girls card. This is talking about immature competition. So this can talk about competition like when you were a young person, you know, and in adolescence. And it can be talking about being bullied, not just by your family, but also by the people when you went out, feeling like the odd person in your family and when you were at school and that kind of energy. So this is the Mean Girls card. This is talking about, you know, narcissistic cheerleaders who'll do anything to win. And if they don't succeed, then their mothers will help them win. And this energy, I'm just feeling like you didn't have the attention that some of the other kids did to get ahead, you know, to be like on the cheerleading team and stuff. Like you just didn't participate in those things because you didn't have the confidence to do it. And your parents didn't really, you know, empower you in that way. So that's kind of, you maybe are from the generation where we didn't have helicopter parenting like they do now. And so this energy is the Eight of Pentacles. So now look at, we have the Eight of Swords, we have the Eight of Wands, and now we have the Eight of Pentacles. And so this energy is talking about working hard and being very focused on something to get the pentacles. So these are the external forces. So you're working very hard, but there's some fierce competition here. And you might not even be aware of it, like the energy. This is representing someone that has been very focused on their work, which is why it's saying stay in the race, don't be distracted here. Because it feels like you've been working, you have all of these pentacles done, and then there's just this one and this one to go. And this energy is of being, making money. Like this is actually about making money. It's the only card in the pentacles where the person is actually working on the physical coin. And then we have, yeah, there we have it. We have 7 pentacles here, and this represents, there's 6 pentacles here. And there's the 7th one here. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're on your 7th pentacle and you're wondering, what the hell am I doing this for? Like you're staring at all your hard work and you're like, wow, like, I don't know, maybe I should do something else with this pentacle because this isn't working for me. I'm not enjoying this anymore. Maybe at one time you really did enjoy working at something and now you're like, I really wanted to do something different. But that means that I have to use all my pentacles that I have so far to be able to do that. And, you know, like you had plans for that to, you know, to get to the 10 of Pentacles, and now you're going to be down to 7 for you to be able to do that. And so that, because you're not going to work on, you're going to quit before you do this last pentacle here. So that's the energy. It's like, you know, like really studying the situation and saying, you know, I'm not happy. I want to go in a different direction with this pentacle. And I think I'm going to take I feel like you're going to take that risk. You've been sitting in this energy. You notice how similar these are. And then this card and this card are very similar in some ways. In that, if you look at the body language here, they're both leaking energy from the bottom. And the top is very closed. And like she's blindfolded. So this represents the same energy is here as not being able to see. And there's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. And what that means is some people will say, oh, well, I'll believe it when I see it. But really, you don't really see the full spectrum of light. And the dark energy that physicists speak about, that's in the universe, that's like the vast majority of the universe. And that energy, that dark energy is actually full of energy. You just can't see it. So, and this energy also has the new moon in here. And that's again saying like it's going to be a new year. It's going to be a new cycle. And this energy is coming upon us. And we just had the new moon in Sagittarius energy. And this is representing that launching of those wands, launching action. Instead of this or that, and seeing only two ways to do something, you go inward and use your intuition. Maybe you did so on the new moon, on the 19th or 20th, when we had the new moon in Sagittarius. And now you can see, like you have a great idea, and you're thinking, yeah, I think I'm going to use my Queen of Pentacles energy, and I'm going to go with this new idea. And you wouldn't really be starting like over from scratch. You would be taking what you already have worked for and known and everything you've learned from that and applying it now in a different manner. And I feel like you'd be really it's more like in alignment with what you've always wished for. And maybe at one point you really did enjoy doing what you're doing and you thought that was what you wished for, but that's okay. You're allowed to change your mind. That's the energy there. And so the Queen of Swords energy is talking about, yeah, I deserve it. I'm willing to receive what I really want. I would rather be doing the One Pentacle project. And the Queen of Swords is sitting there on her throne, and she's got her left hand out, which shows she's willing to receive. She's got her sword up, because like if you come towards her with bullshit, she's not going to put up with it. Maybe she's been putting up with too much bullshit here and here, and here, like that. And judgment's been called, and she's like, no, my head is above the clouds now. I can totally see. And she's only got one little bird in the background there, which shows that she's very independent and she can handle it on her own. And it also, I feel, represents this one pentacle. And she's, she's saying, okay, come in, like I'm gonna work on this thought, and I'm not putting up with any bullshit anymore. Been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. If you want to present anything to me, come in straight, or don't bother coming in at all, because off with your head if you do so. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, that makes the wheel turn. And so the Wheel of Fortune is actually 3 wheels, the past, present, and future. So you could be at whatever, part of this journey, but I feel like you're moving into a totally new way, like you've decided you're going to do something new, and you're just going to apply what you've already learned to it, and you recognize you're probably going to have to put the work in again, but you're going to enjoy it because it's what you want to do, not what you think you should do. That's really powerful energy for you, Cancer. Really good energy. And, if you're enjoying this reading, please do give it a like and a comment. That really, really does help me to build my channel. I really appreciate it if you do. And I'm going to clarify this now with my oracle cards. This is Tales from the Vector. And I began this oracle in 2007. I completed it, all the paintings. There's 64 of them in 2020. And some of them really big dragon paintings. And so it took me a while. But I've had the cards out and about. But they weren't done before. I've had them to psychic fairs and worked with them quite a bit. But now that I have all the paintings done, I'm working on putting the deck out, and actually I'm working on the information that goes along with it. So in the description box below, I will have the numbers of the cards that come up here, and I will put them in the order they appear here. And then you can go to talesfromthevector.com, TAILS, And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings, the number of the painting in my gallery there. So you might find a little more clarity, and just find it to be, there's some interesting information. And they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So it might give you a little more clarity. I feel like you do know what it is you want to do. It's just giving yourself permission to pull the plug on the old project. It might mean having to sell like your business to start a new one, or, selling your house to move, that kind of energy. So it's not a small decision, and that's why you've been, it's taking you a while to do it, but the universe certainly is in your favor. And it's kind of saying you're a star. This is what you're destined to do. So maybe the new project is kind of like a weird idea, or like it's very unique. And you're wondering, is it like, is it like, am I being ridiculous? Like going after this here we go. Instead of going after what I should be going after. And the energy is, you need to get in the energy of the guiding star. So use your intuition instead of overthinking this. That's the energy. And then you'll find, basically, if you ask a logical question and then you want to have logical answer, what happens is you get another logical question. So you need to ask the logical question, get an intuitive answer, and then apply logic to it. Or sometimes you need to ask sometimes the question is more important than the answer. So you need to ask an intuitive question and then get an intuitive answer and then apply logic to it. That kind of energy. And so here we go. The underlying energy for the internal forces is mother's worry. Yeah, I feel like you probably did what your parents wanted you to do, and trying to fit in with the family and that kind of energy. Perhaps there was a family business and you were like, okay, I'm not going to be the only one that's not in the family business. But you wanted to do your own thing, and that's just the way it was. And so that's what you went ahead and did. And then this disruption is, what is fun for some isn't fun for everyone. And I feel like this energy of trying to fit in, you weren't meant to fit in. Like, that's the point. You're a star. You're supposed to shine. You're supposed to stand out like a sore thumb even. Like, it's that kind of energy. So this kind of disrupted your journey, actually, by trying to fit in. No matter how hard you try to fit in, you're too unique. You're not going to fit in. Not if you're being authentic with yourself. And this caused dissension. So a lot of your friends, maybe nobody got you. With friends like this, who needs enemies? Like, you were swimming with sharks. I feel like you probably had a lot of ideas that were really good ideas, and everybody told you not to do them. And then when you didn't do them, they went ahead and did them and made a bunch of money, that kind of energy. And here we have you representing yourself. And this is the energy of, feeling that moon. And, Cancer is ruled by the moon. And we have a full moon coming up, and that's in Cancer. And holy, that one's going to be emotional. I can feel it already. I feel like it's already starting to pull on people. So this energy is, because we're in Capricorn, we moved out of Sagittarius energy on the 21st-ish and of December. And now we're also, we're in Capricorn energy. And Capricorn is about getting out there and being ambitious and climbing that mountain and being responsible and getting what fighting for what what you want and dealing with the competition. And the Cancer energy, Cancer loves their home so much that they actually carry it on their back. Then they don't have to ever leave it, right? So, and the other energy I'm picking up is, if the energy of Cancer is the crab, and that represents, sometimes you have to crack open your shell so that you can allow yourself to be vulnerable. And you may have done that in the past and it was really painful. Having said that, the energy is also talking about, you know, if someone is, you know, hunting for crabs to cook later and they have them all in a bucket, if one of the crabs tries to escape, the other crabs will grab that other crab and pull it back down into the bucket, so it has to suffer the same fate as the rest of them. Instead of empowering each other to climb out of the bucket and save their lives, they're pulling people down so that they can't save their life. And that's an energy that's coming about this dissension. And then we have the Lovers. And so this energy is about maybe in the past like this, because it seems like the one thing you're really missing is that cup of love. And so this energy is talking about, first and foremost, you have to look after yourself. And there is somebody that has their eye on you. And maybe after the new moon or into the full moon, when you release this energy on January 3rd, we'll have that moon in Cancer. That's going to be so powerful for you. And also be aware, it's also going to be so emotional for you. So just be aware of that and recognize it. You know, that don't do anything rash just because you're feeling really emotional. And so the judgment is coming in from the Most High. It's time for you to go do your thing. This is what you're a star, you're unique. Get into your authentic desires and go for it. And then we have the Hierophant. So this is about traditional structure. And yeah, like the Queen of Pentacles is generally from a family, because this is someone that can create generational wealth and form a legacy, you know, that lasts for a long time for other generations. And so this energy is talking about the traditional structure and what people think you should do, and you should do this and you should do this, and trying to please the traditional way of doing things. And that's not what you were meant to do. And then we have the Falling Star. Yeah. So once you recognize who you are, then, and what you're about, then you're going to be better able to really, you know, fall in love with yourself first. And so this is about the heart chakra and being unfettered, being unbound, not feeling like you have to pretend you're someone else. You know, you can be yourself. And then once you're yourself and you love yourself, that's when you'll attract someone that really loves you, because you love yourself so much. And so falling and failing in love is a matter of I. And notice this says 25. So this is 2025, this reality check. I feel like you have already had it, or you're going to have it pretty quick here. You know, and we have a lot of people going home for the holidays and stuff. So that kind of energy there can be a lot of sibling rivalry in that. This energy also is talking about commitment, marriage, and partnerships. And look at the competition is you know, really hard there. What is the external forces? To clarify, Scorpio. Yeah, so Scorpio energy is like the scorpion can really sting, you know, like that kind of energy. So it's kind of watching your words and elevating. The best thing Scorpio does is elevate others and unite people. When they're at their best, but at their worst, they want to conquer instead. And so it's talking about that kind of competition, unfair competition, unrealistic competition, immature competition. And then we have this energy is about transformation. So I do feel like you want to make a transformation in your work. And this can be secrets and shared resources. So you might have been in a partnership with someone, even in a business or something, and you know, you just don't want to do it anymore. I was in that position when I first started learning about energy work, and I went to this little seminar, and I left there saying I was born to do this. I was so excited. I just loved it. And at that time I was, had a dog boutique, and I just, overnight I lost interest. And I've always loved dogs. That's always what I wanted to do. And I loved it. But then I was done with it. I had done everything that that I could do with it. And I wanted to move on to this other. And when I realized that, I had to start over again, but I really enjoyed the journey. And that's kind of the energy I feel you're in. Whatever you're doing is unique. And so then we have in this is higher learning, travel, and education. So you're going to meet new people, and maybe that's when you'll meet someone that's also interested in this new thing. And it would have been really, if you didn't face this reality check that you no longer love doing what you're doing, you might have met someone before that also really loved what you were doing. And then when you didn't love what you were doing anymore, now they don't want to be with you, like it's not the same, or you're not interested in them anymore because you don't want to hear about the same old shift. You want to do something different and unique. And you want your partner to be also, like, they don't have to be doing the same thing as you, but to be really enthusiastic about what you're doing. And so this is about your career and your public image, that kind of energy. Not being able to identify and see yourself as that person. And then this is about, blessings and friends and, being in a position where you actually do what you came on the planet to do as a humanitarian. And this is about, the wheel is turned, the destiny is turning. This is about your spirituality. A lot of people, and this energy that's coming up with that full moon energy, it's like the energy of Cancer and Capricorn is facing off, right? And it's kind of like the sun and the moon are like facing each other. And it's like very, I want to stay home. Well, I want to go out. I want to go, like that kind of energy. And so it can be really feel like this. So the energy here is just saying it's destiny. It's time for you to make this move. And then I feel like your life will fall into place. If it would have fallen into place before this, you would have had way more to undo, if you understand what I'm saying. And so this is about abuse of power. So, I'm getting this energy, like with friends like this, who needs enemies, a bunch of people telling you your ideas were ridiculous. Like, you're not going to make money doing that, and that kind of energy. And they didn't understand it, but then they went and did it and they made the money instead. And then we have the Capricorn energy sitting here on the work that you've already put in. So you were very ambitious and responsible, but you can see the possibilities now and the challenges. But you can see the possibilities of taking what you've learned from here and applying it to this new pentacle. And then we'll have justice come in. So that's like clearing the karma of not doing what you came in to do, and this abuse of power, that energy. Then we have degradation, so taking the shame off you. And this is like kind of talking about feeling ashamed of being yourself, like feeling ashamed because you're not the same as everybody else. Well, that's the beauty of you. No matter how hard you try to be like everybody else, you were not meant to be like everybody else, and so you're not going to be. And it's time you just accept that as something that empowers you. And so, yes, falling and failing in love is a matter of I. You have to love yourself first to attract someone that loves you. And then we have this on the manifester. So this is about taking that energy, and this is very similar to the Scorpio energy, the sexual energy, like using that in a powerful way, like to manifest what you really actually want. Like think about if you had conceived a child back here with someone that then you realize, oh, I just can't do this anymore. And then look at all you'd have to undo. This way, you just move on. It's a simple thing, really. It might feel complicated, but when you really boil it down, it isn't. And I feel like this Cancer energy is saying there's some of you watching this right now that have a really good idea, and you want to get out of that bucket and you want to go do it. And the other crabs are like, no, you have to be like us. And so don't ever underestimate the fact that, if you're about to shine and other people are kind of envious of that. It's not even vindictive a lot of the time. It's just that they want you to be in your comfort zone, because then they can enjoy being in their comfort zone, because they always could look down on you a little bit, that kind of energy. But if you're a star, then who are they going to have? They're going to have to look down upon themselves, and that'll be good for them. And then the Gemini energy, that was the full moon that was on December 4th. It was in Gemini. And Gemini is right before Cancer in the zodiac. And so this is saying, like, you're past the kindergarten stage now. You've learned a lot. So yeah, when you begin this new project, you're more like an adolescent energy, You've learned a lot already about what to do. And yes, you might be brand new in this new field, but you already have a really strong, kindergarten is to teach you to learn how to learn. I really like this energy for you. Just be really aware that this moon, this energy of the moon coming in, the full moon on January 3rd, that if you may have noticed, this one hit you pretty tough too, like it really made you emotional. This one is going to be like that also. So it's probably going to get you to question, like, have I done the right thing kind of energy, But it's all about releasing what no longer serves you, so that you can step into your true occupation or path in life that you really want to be on. And that's that Capricorn energy. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed this reading. Thank you, Cancer, for all your wisdom. Like and comment if you have enjoyed it. It really does empower me to build the channel, and I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you resonate. It would be an honor for me if you did so. And I will be back. I'm going to do my best to fit in a full moon reading for January 3rd after I get these ones done. We'll see how this goes. Time is like getting short here, but I will do my best. Bye for now.